welcome back to Incredible Inverts and Other Animals with me, Phil. Or if it's your first time watching one of my videos, then welcome. And today's video is going to be something a little bit different. Not necessarily going to feature any animals. I'm going to be talking about tortoise diets, but in particular, tortoise diet books. And so these are, I think, are really valuable to any tortoise keeper out there. These, I've got 4 different ones here that are available in the UK. One I don't think is available anymore, but still really handy for me to have. So I'm just going about how you can find out whether stuff is safe to feed to your tortoise or not, as this is something that I feel is very misunderstood within captive tortoise care. A lot of time when people come to people like me working in a zoo or good tortoise groups or vets or anything with tortoise problems, a lot of the time diet is not correct for that species. Now, and I do feel that diet is something, it's just widely misunderstood. And so, well, I'm not saying that I know everything about tortoise diet. I'm learning constantly all the time. New research comes out all the time as well. I have to adapt with that. And no, so when new things are found, we have to change what we do. And that's all part of it. Now, primarily tortoises, for the most part, most of them kept are pretty much purely herbivorous. So, certainly in the UK, probably the most commonly kept ones are things like Hermans, Mediterranean Spurfide, Horsfields, Marginatas. So, but there are other ones that do get a lot of sulcatas. I have sulcatas at work. My parents have a sulcata. Got leopards as well. Again, I have leopards at work. My parents have leopard tortoises. So, and actually my mum is very much into her tortoises. She is a crazy tortoise lady. So, I think she's currently got like 26 individual tortoises across various species, most of them rehomed, some of them actually rescued, and then some of them she has bought because she wanted that species and to work with that species. So, so she's got everything from Horsfields, including ones that one of them was found wandering the streets, and we got contacted to be like, well, can you take it into Amazing Reptiles? And so, which it did. So the same with their sulcata, it got dumped at a shop. Lucky enough, the shop they got dumped at is really good with reptiles and really good with tortoises. And so, but the manager there, although he keeps sulcatas, he didn't have any space for another male sulcata that was adult, not fully grown, nowhere near fully grown, but also deformed because of husbandry issues, which probably diet was one of them. So he contacted me to see whether, again, whether my parents would have room. So they went, yep, we'll build a shed and house a sulcata, which, if you don't know, sulcatas get big. I'll do a video introducing of the sulcata tortoise at some point, and we'll go into more detail into that species. So, and then there's other species as well. So there are your sort of tropical rainforest species like redfoots and yellowfoots, the elongated tortoises as well. These guys are a little bit more complex because they do need some extra protein in their diet in the form of meat or invertebrates like slugs and snails and stuff. But primarily, most species of tortoises that most people keep in the UK tend to be Mediterranean based. So that's what we're going to focus on mainly. And that's what these books kind of all focus on mainly as well. And so it is obviously important, again, just to stress, if you keep a tortoise or looking and getting a tortoise, research that species thoroughly. Get your information from multiple sources. Look here on YouTube. You can ask me if I know, I will tell you. If I don't know, I'll tell you where to go. Look at the British Chelonia group. Look at Norfolk Tortoise Club, great place as well. There's Tortoise Addicts, there's Tortoise in Need. So there's many tortoise groups. There are some bad ones as well. I also actually help run the Suffolk Tortoise Keepers. Feel free, especially in the UK, to come on to the Suffolk Tortoise Keepers page. So, and again, we'll try and help you as best as we can. So, but I've got 4 different books here. I'm going to go through them. They're all a bit different to each other. Some do, you know, they're all really valuable. I think this is probably the cheapest one, which I don't think is in print anymore. So I actually got this only for £3.50. Absolute bargain. It was quite a decent book. Tortoise Plants, Weeds and Feeds. And this is actually by Tortoise Addicts. So we'll have a closer look at that one. I have the second edition of the Linda King book, so Edible Plants for Tortoises in the UK. I had a quick look before doing this video, and there is now a fourth edition as well, which I might look into getting, as some other things potentially in it that this one perhaps doesn't. But again, we'll have a closer look. This is an absolutely beautiful looking book. We'll go through that. And then the latest ones I got, which these are actually for my mum's birthday. That's coming up, so just recording this obviously just beforehand. This will obviously come out afterwards, just in case she watches this. But these ones, we've got the Wildflower ID and Feeding Guide for tortoises from Browse Poster, and then the Browse ID and Feeding Guide again from Browse Poster. So these are brand new books. These are the most expensive ones out of these ones. Again, absolutely fantastic books, really valuable ones. We'll have a closer look at them, and then you get an idea of what they're like and how to use them. Okay, so first one is this one, Tortoise Plants, Weeds and Feeds. Well, so this is probably the oldest tortoise feed book that I own, but it is still really good. So it's by Tortoise Addicts, and there's a little nice introduction bit to it. All these books have nice little introductions, and then we've got obviously the plants, so some nice pictures, a little bit about the plants, how to ID them, and then whether it's a daily safe feed. And actually, one thing went past actually on, there we go, on the contents for everything, and that is actually labelled up safe and daily feeds, moderation feeds, so through to occasional, and then the do not feeds. And that for me is just as important as all the others. So as you can see, really nicely laid out book. So some good information on various plants. So again, like I say, whether it's a feed in moderation as the Aster. So yeah, you know, great. But if you do find this book available anywhere, do pick it up. It is absolutely fantastic. You won't go far wrong with this book. It's nice, easy to use, very simple, nice layout, which I think is a bonus. And then for the do not feeds, it's very bright red. As I say, do not feed. Again, some nice photos of the plants, so you can easily tell which ones you shouldn't feed. The only thing I would prefer, obviously they're not going to do this, but if they did brown over, would be perhaps actually sort of more separate with the do not feeds and kind of the reasons why. I think that's always quite a good thing to have, just so you know why we should be avoiding those. But you know, £3.50, that's how much I pay for this one. I did get it a few years ago at a tortoise conference, but yeah, it's absolutely fantastic one. So if you do see that available anywhere, do pick it up. Highly recommend that one. This one, I picked this one up actually at the same time. So as I say, it's the second edition of the Linda King one, the Edible Plants for Tortoises in the UK. As I had a quick look, and there is a fourth edition that came out last year. So this one, I believe, was 2016, I believe. So, you know, it is a little bit old. It's slightly newer than this one. And then, again, got a little introduction about it. So, with this one as well, is actually grouped the plants by family. So I think that's quite nice. And this was just a really nice looking book. You know, bits about when the plants are available, when they're around. So I like the book. Puts if it's a tortoise favourite. So that's always quite good. So little tips of how to grow it, and the fact that you can buy some of these obviously as seeds from most garden centres and other sort of shops. I've certainly bought loads of seeds in the past through places like Wilko's, and even like Aldi, Tesco and all that. As long as you know what you're looking for and what's safe and not safe. And then towards the back, well, the back she's got so ones that, you know, some will eat these. I find most of mine love dead nettle. And then ones that, you know, some like, some don't. There's a list of toxic plants, ones that you perhaps shouldn't feed due to some reasons. I like this, but again, I prefer the pictures of the other one just so it's easy to tell which ones you shouldn't feed. Obviously, the list is great, but pictures would be really valuable. I think. I don't know if it's put in the newest editions. That's the only downside I think to this particular book, but otherwise, absolutely fantastic. And the game well worth getting. I'll probably look out for the 4th edition. Even perhaps even get the 3rd edition if that's available anywhere. As well as I think, you know, the more books the better. They all offer something different to each other. So, you know, and then there is obviously the online. I do recommend people checking out the Tortoise Table app and their plant database online. Now, these ones are the most expensive ones that I've got. So these are £12 each. They're well worth the money, in my opinion. So these are both by Browse Poster. So I'll put their website down in the description. And Browse Poster does a whole host of various feeding guides and ID guides for various animals, mainly for ones in zoos, but these are available to the public to buy. These are the ones that are by ARZA approved. So by ARZA is the British and Irish Association of Zoos and Aquaria. So it's been independently kind of assessed by ARZA and by guys at London Zoo to say that, yep, the information here is correct. And then, so obviously, endorsed by the BCG, the British Chelonia Group. So high recommendations there for this. I like the other books, got a bit of an introduction. We've got here reference for the colour codes. So a lot of this is taken from the Tortoise Table as well. And then assessed sort of independently. So contents by the common name for the plants and then straight into the plants. And this, you can see, is a very easy to use ID guide. So you've got the picture of the plant. You got when it's you might see it around. And then green means, yep, feed as much as you like. Some of these do have all the nutritional components in there, which I really like. Some of them haven't got around to it. But you can see really big, clear photos of everything. And really clear, easy to see whether it's safe for moderation or do not feed. Which I think is absolutely vital. So these ones, I really like these books. I like them all, to be fair. See really nice photos for them. So find one with nutritional components. I know put that on future editions. It will actually feature nutritional information. Some of them I did when flipping through before. I said some of them did. But yeah, I really like this book. And then little picture at the back. References, so the Tortoise Table. And so, and that is a charity thing. So that's the Wildflower ID feeding guide. And this one, the Browse feeding guide. So more things like trees. So again, Browse Poster by ARZA and BCG approved. Then same sort of thing. And then again, and you got again nice photos of different trees that you can feed to your tortoises. Now, like I said, these are all based around some Mediterranean species of tortoises. So, as in here, obviously, means whether they might contain certain things that you don't want to be feeding. So, I like that it breaks down into leaves, flowers, fruits, and seeds as well. Obviously, some things may be suitable and some things not on the same thing. So, in a European beech, so the leaves, I didn't know this, are absolutely fine to give. Do not give the fruits or seeds, so the nuts. So yeah, again, another fantastic book. and a lot of the stuff in here is not in the other two, or these two books at all. So, you know, again, just really value for money. And it has the same sort of thing at the back as well. So yeah, I highly recommend getting any of these books. As I said, I don't think you'll probably find that one anywhere online to order. You will find late or the sort of newer editions of this one on various sites. I had a quick look on Amazon. It's currently unavailable, but obviously it does get sold through there. And then these ones on Browse Poster website, which I'll put a link down. And she also does really big poster as well of it. Probably not necessarily any good for sort of the average private keeper, but certainly these books, well worth it. So, and they're handy to have and to take with you when foraging around for your weeds and edible plants, just in case you don't have any reception to get the app or the access to the website for the tortoise table. But that as well, I would highly recommend getting and downloading. You can then type in what food item you're thinking of giving in terms of fruits or vegetables or plants, and it will tell you basically straight away whether yes you can or no don't, and reasons why. And so I really like that. I use that a lot myself at work. And so there's hundreds and hundreds of plants that we can give to tortoises, and it's really important to try and vary it as much as possible for a lot of the species. And a lot of time we often stick to one thing or a few things, and it is good to vary it where we can. It's also really good to seed up your outdoor enclosures. And you can get various seeds from all over the place. So we do get sort of seeds like from bioactive herbs. They do a lot of different seeds now for tortoises, as well as other products like lump chalk and stuff for tortoises. Shelled Warriors do some really good seeds mixes. The British Colonia group, they do seed mixes as well. A lot of them are fairly cheap, and you can collect your own. You know, go around collecting dandelion seeds and thistle seeds and stuff. But you know, the seeds are really cheap. If you're buying from the BCG, you support the BCG, which I think is absolutely fantastic to do. So, and it's important to seed up your outdoor enclosures fairly often. You know, ideally probably once a year, but once every couple of years should be fine as well. And try and put different ones in perhaps every year too, so you get a nice variety of plant growth. It can look really nice. A lot of it will also attract lots and lots of fantastic invertebrates, all the pollinators and all our wild inverts that love wildflowers. So remember, a dandelion is a wildflower, not just a weed. A weed is just a plant in the wrong place that we decide is a weed. So a rose can be a weed, as well as being a nice ornamental plant. Things like dandelions in your lawn, always leave a few for the bugs. I always like to do that. So don't go around collecting them all. And so always leave a few flowers there for the bees and other pollinating insects. But that's just, hopefully, well, it was going to be quick, but it's actually turned in a bit longer than I thought it would just on these books. But I think it's really valuable information held within these. They are well worth the money. So I'm really happy with these two. I'm sure my mum will be really happy with these two. For her birthday, happy birthday, Mum. And I will probably even get some of these just for myself as well, to go along with these two. So I kind of want these hopefully perhaps within the zoo as well, just for volunteers to use and stuff, because they are just fantastic and really easy to use. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that. I know it's a very different type of video to what I've done before, but I just want to put this out there. It is something that I do feel needs talking about is tortoise diets. Tortoises are very popular as pets. But a lot of time people do feed them wrong. You know, not maliciously. They think they're doing the right thing. We think we know how to look after tortoises and what to feed them. often we don't. Sometimes we think, oh, it's cruel if we feed them, you know, if they're grazing species, don't feed them primarily grass. It's not necessarily cruel. That's what they're designed to eat. So most tortoises that are kept in captivity are not designed to eat fruits or vegetables, and most of the time those foods are very, very dangerous for them. So I do urge you, please do not feed them fruits or vegetables unless they can actually eat fruit or vegetables, which are normally, like I say, the rainforest species that will get the occasional sort of fruit. So, but let me know if you did enjoy this video. Please do give it a thumbs up. Please do put some comments down below. So do you keep tortoises? Are you looking into getting tortoises? Do you want any advice in terms of feeding and stuff? Going to head over to some of the various Facebook groups. I'll put links down in the description if I remember. Of so Suffolk Tortoise Keepers, which I'm part of, as well as Norfolk Tortoise Group, and a few others that I recommend and that I like. I am a member of some ones that I don't like. I'm mainly going there just to see what they're saying and what rubbish they're absolutely saying. And a lot of the time they are spelling absolute rubbish. So please don't give your tortoise a carrot bath; it will do nothing. Stuff. So that's just what. Also, please don't start putting coconut oil or any kind of oil on your tortoise shell. Again, that's just a weird thing. I thought oil went away years and years ago. Clean your tortoise shell, warm water. That's all you need. Just plain warm water. So, but yeah, put some comments down below. If you haven't yet, please do subscribe and hit that notification bell. I release videos every Sunday. So until next Sunday, take care, stay safe, keep rocking.